back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you all for joining us. Today we're in Plainfield, Michigan, and we're at the Plainfield Fire Department taking a look at their brand new rig. We're going to be talking to Ruby, who is their equipment operator. She's going to walk us through this truck and tell us all about it. So let's go take a look.
Welcome to HND News. The clock is ticking. Time is running out to take action. We go live now to Emmett in the field for an update on what is happening.
Thank you, Ivy. EMS providers realize today that their Con Ed is due within months and they're beginning to panic. But there's no need to panic. Paramedic Coach, you can do all your credits online, whether you're using a cell phone, computer, or tablet. It's CAPC accredited and it goes to the state or the National Registry levels. In the program, you get 7 bonus guides to help you meet all the requirements for the National Registry. So let's bring it back to you, Ivy.
Well, there you have it, folks. Paramedic Coach, where you can get continuing education for your NREMT needs. Not only does he help you get certified, he helps you stay certified. Through recertification by the CAPC accredited program with easy online access. Go to recertforems.com. Don't miss your opportunity today. Get your certification out of the way.
Hi, Ruby. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for inviting us out.
Of course.
So we're very interested in this truck. I took a look at it online, and it's a brand new Rosenbauer from what I hear.
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So this is a 2021 Rosenbauer. It's our Plainfield Engine 1 stationed out of Station 1, and we got 500 gallons of water behind us.
Okay. And can you walk us through everything that you got in the truck and how it all operates?
Of course. All right. So first off, here is the EO door, our EO seat. So EO stands for equipment operator, so we're driving and pumping and getting us where we need to go safely.
Okay, so around the country, some people will also refer to that as an engineer then.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep,
Makes
same
sense.
thing, we just have a different title.
Sure.
So what we have the driver's seat, obviously the steering wheel. This is how we put the truck into pump right here, the Darley, and then we have all of our lights and switches on the side for scene lighting, warning lights, your hazards, everything like that.
Very cool. Now, does this take a key to start a fire truck?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
No. So actually it has the battery down here, ignition, and then the engine start.
Very
so
cool.
No key to start it.
Awesome. Okay, and working our way around the back.
Yeah, so this is the Firefighter seat. So we have the seat back here and an SCBA that sits in there so they can easily pack up and hop out the door and go fight fire. In the back here, we have the doghouse, which has all of our medical equipment, our med bags, extra hoods for firefighting. And then on the side of the doghouse, you see there, we have our tactical rapid response ballistic vests.
Okay.
And then we also have ballistic helmets as well.
Wow, okay. Now, how many operators do you put in the truck? How many firefighters?
It can seat 4, but we usually run with 3 to 2.
And it looks like you do EMS. I see the Lucas in there.
Yes, yep, we're an EMT licensed department.
And then working our way around to the pump panel here.
Yeah, this is the pump panel. This is where I like to be. We have 2 speed lays. We have a Minuteman 1 3/4, which is 200 feet, and then a triple layer, which is also 200 feet.
How do you load that in when you don't have a top load?
So these are put into like channels and they pull out. So like trays, and then we lay it on the ground and load it right there.
Okay, makes it easy.
Yep, and so we have the pump panel, and all of these can do foam, which is something that our other trucks don't have, which is really handy. Then we also have this remote for the deck gun, which is up top.
Okay. All right. Makes it pretty simple.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn how to do all this kind of stuff?
It took me a while. I started learning at the beginning of this year, and I feel like I've finally gotten proficient and able to work quickly and think on my feet and adapt to the situation.
Okay.
So probably a good 6 months.
All right. Have you been in the fire service for long?
So I've been in the fire service for just over 2 years.
Okay.
But I've only been full-time for a little less than a month.
What got you involved in the fire service?
Yeah, so I had a soccer coach when I was younger that was a firefighter, and he just instilled a lot of confidence in me as a person, and I thought might as well go into the field.
So you're first generation?
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Of course.
Okay.
It's the best job in the world. This is the equipment operator cabinet. So everything in here is what we would need to work as an equipment operator. We put our gear down here. We have all the different fittings for hydrants and our hoses. If we're working with a neighboring department and we end up with the male end and we needed the female end, and we have adjustments to be able to work quickly.
Okay. Is it pretty typical to have standard fire hydrants, or do they change from township to township?
It differs between the townships. I'll show you later. We have a neighboring township that has different threading on their hydrants, so we have a specific coupling just for their hydrants. But they're pretty standard. It really depends.
Right. So it takes a little bit of pre-planning to make sure you have the right apparatus.
Correct. Correct. Yep. Up top we have our RIT pack, so rescue intervention team. If we have a firefighter go down in a structure, this is a larger cylinder, so we can top off their air supply as well as our air supply as the rescuers.
Okay. So does this engine act as a rescue also, or is it just a pumper?
It's a fire rescue, so we wear all the hats.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes it fun.
Yes, for sure. This is where we have our wheel chocks, which is essential for pumping and keeping us where we want to stay. Here we have waters after strenuous scenes, want to rehydrate and make sure that we're ready to keep going. We have our spare SCBA cylinders, which are Scott packs. We have cribbing, which is used for vehicle stabilization, which we come across a lot. So
I noticed it's the composite versus the wood that we traditionally use.
Yeah, so I haven't worked with wood, so I'm used to the composite, so I can't tell you which one is better or worse, but it definitely gets the job done.
Right.
Here, since it freezes in Michigan and we get lots of snow,
right.
This is a pump out kit for our hydrants.
Okay.
So anytime we use a hydrant between the time of October and April, we have to pump out the extra water that is above the frost line. Okay. So then it doesn't freeze and then break if we try and open it up.
Yeah, that's something that we really don't have to think about too much in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Or the places south, they might have no idea about that stuff.
Yeah. Yep. And then behind that is a cell block. That's for lithium ion batteries.
Okay.
It's kind of like cat litter consistency that is in the barrel. You bury it under there and it will keep it from reigniting, or keeping it safe until it usually gets picked up by a tow company.
Right, right.
Here we have the equipment operators SCBA, because there are times that we're hopping in and going into fires.
Sure.
We have limited response around here. We know we're going to get at least 2 engines to a fire, and if we have mutual aid that comes, that's great as well. But if we're second on scene to our own structure fire, we're going inside.
Okay, okay.
So,
and not incorporating that in the seat is more of a safety related issue. You don't have to
Correct.
worry about it tangling you up at all.
Yep, for sure, and it's a little more comfortable driving.
Awesome.
And then this is the spare cylinder for our rescue intervention team pack, to be able to switch that out in case we need it on scene.
Right, and that one looks a little bit bigger than the other one.
Correct. Yep, they're both 5,500 PSI, but they have different amounts of air stored in there.
Okay.
So, yep, and then life jacket.
Do you have a lot of water in your coverage area? And what kind of coverage area do you have? Is it more residential, commercial, that kind of stuff?
It's kind of a good mix between residential and commercial. We do have some bodies of water. We have Versluis Park, which is a little lake, and then we have Rogue River and Grand River that runs through our jurisdiction as well.
Okay.
So, next up, this is one of my favorite cabinets. Got all the tools to go to town. So we have everything from the irons, which is your Halligan and flathead axe, to pike poles, shovels, brooms, which we use the most often on car accidents, and then our 2 fire extinguishers. We have a water can and a foam.
Okay. How do those come out?
Yeah, so they just pull out.
Okay.
Just like this.
That's nice that you can see it and strap it in there. It's not just thrown into a cabinet.
Correct. Ease of access, and they're not sliding around too much. It takes a little effort to get them in and out.
Sure. Sure. All right. Working our way around the back.
Down here is where all of our hydrant operations is stored. So this red coupling here is what I was talking about. It's for Rockford, which is one of our neighboring departments, and their threading size is just different than what ours is in Plainfield. So we have a specific tool just for that. You have your hydrant basket that consists of your 5-inch gate, your 2.5, as well as the hydrant wrench and spanner and Stort's wrench.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And how many feet of hose do you carry up top?
We have 1,300 feet of LDH.
Okay.
And then we have the barn lay that is connected, which is pre-connected, so we can spray water right from there.
Do you have ladders then on this truck too?
Yes, we do. Right up here, we have a 24-foot and a 16-foot. We don't have a 35.
Okay.
So with our new trucks that we're getting, we're kind of shifting that out of the lineup. So we're getting a new engine in the middle of 2025, and it's also not going to have a 35-foot. So
right.
Yep. And then your pike poles, New York hooks, and your attic ladder, and then struts.
Right.
So,
do you have anything up top? Do you have any coffin boxes up top?
yes, we do. That's where most of our hazmat and then like oil dry or soak up is stored. It's a lot of the things that we don't use very often, but we still keep it on the truck.
Are you guys considered hazmat technicians, or are you just kind of making sure the fluid containment stuff?
Correct. We are not technicians.
Okay.
We have a couple people in our department that are, but we don't support the licensure for it.
Okay. That brings us around to the passenger side.
Yes.
And that's my favorite cabinet because it's the EMS side.
Sort of. So this is all of our extrication tools, which they are battery operated.
Okay.
We have our reserve engine, which has the hydraulic on it still, but all of our frontline have the battery operated extrication tools.
How do you like that? Have you found a difference between the two?
Yeah, I think it's definitely proficient, and it's a lot easier to go and actually do work with it because you're not attached to a hose.
Okay.
It's a tripping hazard. You don't want to cut it. Being attached to a leash almost is kind of frustrating at times. This one you have a lot more free range to move around, and you have better grip and stability with it. And these are lighter than the hydraulic as well.
They're actually lighter. Okay, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
They seem like they should be heavier. They almost a little bit more bulky, but they're actually lighter.
Yeah, I feel like they are lighter. Yep.
Okay.
So all of our stuff for vehicle extrication, we have the cutters and the spreaders, or the jaws of life.
Yeah.
And then the ram, and then all of our extensions and batteries for all of that equipment. And of course, your traffic cones.
Nice. Yeah, with the battery-powered equipment that's coming out there, whether it's your scene lights, whether it's your cutters or spreaders, it seems like they go into service much quicker. You don't have to set it up. You don't have to stage all your equipment and put it all together. It's just instantaneous.
Yep, for sure. This next cabinet, very similar to the one on the other side. We have the spare SCBA cylinders, an extra SCBA here, life jacket. We have tow strap and hook, some extra accessories for the extrication tools.
Okay.
And then the attachment for our struts, the lifter.
Okay. You have a lot of extra bottles. Normally it's what, 2 per seat, right? For NFPA regulations?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so you guys definitely have quite a bit on your truck.
This truck has it on both sides, our other ones don't, so
Okay.
it is helpful. Next one here. We also have battery saws, which is super helpful when it comes to startup, and those are significantly lighter than your normal gas-powered saws, excuse me. And then we also have like the bar and chain oil, which is already portioned out, and your battery life is the same amount of bar oil that you go through. So you need a new battery, you also need more bar oil.
Okay.
So that's
Good to
super
know.
convenient. We have a K9, we have the vent saw and a chainsaw.
Okay. Do you find that the chainsaws that are battery powered are different than the gas powered as far as power and getting through the shingles and the roof?
Yeah, I don't think they're as efficient. It still gets the job done, and I think overall taxing on the body is less, so you're more efficient as a person, not exactly with the tool, but it definitely gets the job done.
Nice.
We have scene lighting, which are also battery operated. Your electric fan and your gas-powered fan, and then extra spare batteries for everything.
Okay, so for all the batteries that you have on the truck, is there a massive generator, or how do you keep everything charged when it's
Yeah, so with our weekly truck checks, we go through and make sure that everything is charged, and if it's not, we have charging stations at both stations that are suited for the M28s.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. This is the other side of the pump panel. This is our trash line. It's 100 foot of 1 3/4 with a fog nozzle. So this is for your trash fires, your vehicle fires, anything that you can reach within the 100 feet, because the other are 200 feet.
Sure.
So it definitely gets the job done, gets you water quick, and it's easy for the firefighter or lieutenant to hop out and grab it.
Right. And this is the back side of what we saw on the other side.
Correct, and you can pull the line from either side of the truck.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yep.
That brings us back to the passenger compartment, just another entrance, right?
Yep, just the same as the other side, except for we have the Knox box key for the lieutenant for the different locations that have Knox box access.
Okay. What our viewers may not know what a Knox box is. What does that mean?
Yeah, so it's pretty much it's a secured box that goes on the outside of certain types of structures. So usually it's commercial buildings or nursing homes or different structures like that, and we're the only ones that have access inside, and there's keys in there for different entrance points in the building. So it's very helpful for after hours or on the weekends for us to get access if there's a faulty smoke detector and we don't know it's faulty, or they have a water flow alarm and there's water dumping out their system. So it's very helpful, and each lieutenant has their own code, and they're the only ones that can access the key along with our district chiefs to be able to access those Knox boxes that are on the side of the building.
Right, and that way you don't have to break down the doors.
Correct, yes, lots less damage that way.
Right.
Yep, so this is just the other side, the SCBA in here as well. Like I said, very rarely we do run with 4. Today we are, but it's always nice to have the extra hands.
Okay. Now, if I'm in the township and I'm thinking I want to volunteer or I want to become part of the department, because you guys are a paid department, correct?
Correct.
How do I find where to apply?
Yeah, so you can go to our website online or our township's website, which is plainfieldmi.org. Or you can come in and stop at the station and we can give you a tour and kind of tell you what it's all about to be a firefighter and how we can get you started.
Okay. All right. And that brings us up to what I call the captain's chair, right?
Yeah, this is the lieutenant's
Lieutenant's,
seat.
okay.
Yep, we don't have captains, but we do have lieutenants.
Okay.
So, yep, this is the lieutenant's seat. It's fairly similar to all of the other seats except for a couple of extra trinkets that they got to deal with. So we have the MDT, which is our map and how we can communicate with dispatch, as well as the radio and the 4-gas meter. So that's how we communicate with dispatch and how we communicate to other units around here, and then 4-gas for any type of alarm we go to.
Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about how your structure of staffing is? You are an operator, an engineer is what we would call it, where we're coming from. Do you normally switch trucks, or are you always in this truck?
So unfortunately, we're not always in this truck. We also have a squad, which is an F550 or 350 that has water on it as well.
Okay.
We usually run that for medicals and anything that is not fire related. Just it's ease of access, but we do bounce back and forth. If we're in the station, then we'll respond in the engine for a car accident, fire of any sorts. But sometimes we gotta roll with the squad.
Okay. But you're designated as the, what do you say, operator?
Yep,
or
the equipment operator.
Equipment operator. Do you ever ride in the back?
Today I am, because we have an equipment operator in training. Okay. So anytime we hop out, I'm shadowing her as she's learning the ropes. So usually I don't get to sit in the back. Usually I'm driving any truck that we're in.
Okay.
So.
If I'm going to kind of go back one step, is if I want to apply, do I have to have any kind of certifications before I apply for the job?
No, so at Plainfield, we're very lucky. They actually paid for our training. So they'll put you through our fire academy, and then we'll send you to an EMT course as well. And then we have in-house field training that we do before you're able to fully fly free and do everything that you can.
Right, right. Okay, and then that brings us back up to the front, which is a huge bumper.
Yes, it is. It is a very big bumper. Yep, in the front here we have step chocks and some wedges for vehicle stabilization.
Okay, so quick access as you pull up to the scene.
Yep, quick access. So these pop out. We got extra wheel chocks and stuff like that. It's a nice, safe location to put it.
Yeah, I would have thought maybe they would have had a hose or another cutter or a spreader in there, but having wheel chocks is a quick, easy way to stabilize that vehicle right off the bat.
Correct.
Then you can get your tools.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
I also noticed the color of this. You got the black underneath with the red over the top. Mm-hmm. Is that the typical color that you guys run here at Plainfield?
So this is the only truck that we have that is this color, since it is the newest.
Okay.
We are, like I said, in the progress of getting our new engine. I'm not sure what color that one's going to be, but I do love the kind of like the burgundy that this is.
Yeah.
It's unique. You don't see a lot of fire trucks in this color.
Absolutely. So once again, tell me your name. Make sure I got it right for everybody.
Yeah, Ruby Brock.
Okay.
So.
Thank you so much, Ruby, for walking us around. We really appreciate it. Thank you for doing the job. Mm-hmm. One thing that we always struggle with across America is recruitment and retention. Yeah. So the more information we get out there, the better it is, and the more people can do it.
For sure.
So.
Awesome.
Once again, this was the Station RIGS with Plainfield Fire Department with Ruby, the equipment operator. She walked us through. Thank you all for watching. But before we end, hit subscribe, hit notifications, smash those like buttons, make a comment below. And at the very least, stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you again next week.